10, 9, ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
The day is 16th of July, 1969. Saturn V, the first rocket to carry a manned mission to the moon, leaves the Kennedy Space Center at 9:32 local time. 5 days later, the entire world holds its breath as Neil Armstrong becomes the first human to set foot on the moon. The world is celebrating. People who made this great achievement possible will always be remembered. Among them is the chief architect of the Apollo Saturn V rocket, Wernher von Braun. To most, he's NASA's rocket genius, but for the few out there, he's a villain, a person behind the project that could have ended the world if the Nazis weren't stopped. Wernher von Braun's story begins some half a century earlier, in interwar Germany. Although born into an old Prussian family, Werner's far from the typical aristocrat's son. Instead of diligently studying for school, he spends hours observing the stars.
When I grow up, I will go to the moon,
he often says, and he means it. At just 15, he builds a rocket-powered car, a project that leaves his mother, Emmy, speechless. He's like a sponge, absorbing every scrap of knowledge. But his father, Magnus Baron von Braun, is far less impressed. A towering figure in young Werner's life, Magnus sees his son's struggle with school as a flaw, a disgrace to the family's tradition. To him, Werner's fascination with space and rockets is merely a childish distraction. Yet Werner's curiosity refuses to be silenced. When he discovers Hermann Oberth's The Rocket to Planetary Spaces, a spark ignites. The book reveals a world where space isn't a mere fantasy, but something that could one day be reached. But such knowledge doesn't come without struggle. His first challenge? Math, his school nightmare. It's baffling and he doesn't like it, but it stands between him and the stars. He either has to master the numbers or watch his dreams fizzle. And so, also determined to prove his father wrong, Werner devours his studies, climbing from an average student to the top of his class. Before he even turns 18, he's already publishing academic papers on rockets. But fictional stories fascinate him too. In his school journal, we find a story titled Lunetta, following two explorers who journeyed to a space station, witnessed the marvels of space travel. But there, they uncover a system designed to monitor Earth and its inhabitants. The story hints at a worldview where technology serves as a tool of control, with space reserved as a dominion for the privileged. And who is the author of this story? Of course, Werner himself, who, amid his progressive dreams of discovery, conceals a dystopian view of the human future. Here we might glimpse at the deep influence of his conservative father, the figure he has always tried to impress. But at what cost? Soon, Werner will have to choose between the romanticism of his dreams and the harsh reality of a dark adult world. And that time approaches faster than he thinks. In 1930, at the age of 18, von Braun attends the Technical University of Berlin. It's a period of deep crisis for Germany, maybe the worst of its modern history. The 1929 economic crash extinguishes the dreams of the 20s, and as the Nazis begin to rise, all hopes for a prosperous future seem to vanish. But not for von Braun. His obsession with space travel somehow thrives, even as everything else crumbles around him. His ascent, of course, raises questions. Von Braun's first major step comes that same year, where he joins the Society for Space Travel, a German rocket society dedicated to advancing space exploration. At first, the connection seems innocent, even logical. As he later explains, rocket propulsion and the idea of spaceflight are the real reason why I decided to study engineering in the first place. I suppose we can safely believe him on that.